I'm Sterling Perrin. I'm an analyst with Heavy Reading, now part of Omdia. We're at OFC, 50th anniversary of OFC, talking about 800 gig and the future of networking, and very happy to be joined today by Robert Kwon, who is with CENIC, and Robert Damon, who is with Juniper Networks. Hi guys, welcome.
Hi.
Thank you. Great to be talking to you. I think everybody knows Juniper. Let me move right to CENIC. Robert, you want to give us a little bit of an overview of who CENIC is and what the organization does?
Sure. So CENIC is a member-led nonprofit that supports the state of California, and our mission is to support the research and education efforts of California by providing a research and education network. We have 8,000 fiber miles of fiber in the state of California that we light up with our own DWDM system. Mm-hmm. And we've been recently on a journey called NGI, which is our next generation infrastructure. This infrastructure was to modernize not just our protocol tech stack, but also our physical infrastructure. And what this has culminated to is basically an 800 gig deployment on our backbone as a production link between two of our sites. And now we're about to deploy 800 gig, which we feel is one of the first campuses with San Diego State University, who is a R1 research institution.
Okay, so obviously research education networks historically have been really leading adopters of new technologies, fiber optic based, and it sounds like you guys fit into that bucket for sure. You mentioned 800 gig. It's at OFC and just generally in research, we're seeing it's an important year for 800 gig. Why don't we kind of just talk about that component of your network? We're talking about 800 ZR is the implementation that you guys are doing?
Yes, we're using 800 gig ZR on our network, and it's been such a great deployment. It was such a quick deployment from what used to take days, having a transponder shelf or a DCI shelf, is now just a pluggable in our devices. And we're seeing our implementation time go from days of procuring space and power in our racks and our co-locations to literally 15 minutes of just plugging in the optics. And it's been such an easy turn up that it's changed the way that we look at how to augment our backbone. And it hasn't been what we thought would be as far as losing features. The optics all have, FEC and post-FEC, and we're able to see the right types of details from the optics and from the routers to make sure that these things are performing the correct way. And also from a business perspective, we're seeing close to a 60% reduction in TCO, which of course makes it a lot more viable for us to deploy these in a lot more places than historically we would have to budget and spread these budgets over a couple cycles to be able to support those high bandwidth needs that our researchers and our education constituents need.
What was, so the from to the two you're going and doing 800 ZR. What was the previous network, speed and topology?
Sure. So we were at a N by 100. So we were doing 4 by 100 and at some places 5 by 100. Mm-hmm. We were in the middle of deploying the 400 gig ZR pluses or high powered ZRs. Okay. But then 800 gig came a lot quicker than what we expected it to come. So we just started moving towards 800 gig as opposed to focusing on our 400 gigs. So of course there's going to be 400 gig deployments just because of the fiber quality that we have. Our fiber is not that great as far as like the loss that we have in certain spans due to the fiber type and the issues that I've had. But these optics have performed great even on our fiber. And we're currently running it across a 100 kilometer span of E-leaf fiber. Mm-hmm. And it's been really great.
So basically, you did have some 400 ZR in your network?
Yes, we did.
But you've decided going forward, for the most part, 400 ZR won't really be used. It's really going right to 800 ZR because of all the benefits, including the TCO.
Yes, the only corner case would be the 800 gig optics can also do 400 gig very long distances by changing the modulation. Right. So we're hoping to leverage those on the spans that are very, very far and have a lot of loss so that we can get 400 gig over those spans. But wherever we can, we're going to be doing 800 gig as much as possible.
You've got the capacity needs for that today, or was this more like, far future planning to get to 800 gig?
So we have the capacity needs just from our users using the internet. Yep. But also we also see the need for these larger bandwidths just because the flows are getting bigger. We support a lot of research and education efforts. It's primarily research,
Right.
which requires high bandwidth or high data transfers to be able to move their data sets from one place to another. So one of the things that CENIC has been helping out with the AI efforts, and AI has a lot of data sets that have to move around, but also we connect our members to the Large Hadron Collider so to be able to get those data sets.
Oh, wow.
And they produce a large amount of data.
Right. Yeah. Your customers or users, for people not familiar with how the research and education networks are, your end customers are the universities themselves, right? These are who's feeding into your network, correct?
Yes. So
Yeah.
we support more than the universities.
Uh-huh.
So we support the universities, of course, the higher eds, but we also support the K-12s, the libraries,
Okay.
and cultural institutions like the Getty and SF Jazz. So there's also tangential benefits to places like the Getty that have a lot of data store of images and video.
Yeah.
That having this larger bandwidth across the backbone helps a lot of people to be able to get to that. To
That's
those
great.
sources.
Yeah. So let me bring in Robert Damon from Juniper. Obviously, Juniper had some role in the CENIC network. And actually, I don't know historically, but certainly future. Maybe talk a little bit about your role in Juniper's role in CENIC, ongoing and with the 800ZR stuff.
Oh, thank you, Sterling. Yeah, and Juniper's been a proud partner with CENIC for many years now. And as they moved from 100 gig to 400 gig and now 800 gig, we've been along with them. As Robert was describing, CENIC serves not only the most elite research universities around here, but they also serve over 8,000 K through 20 institutions, some of which are in remote locations. And they've leveraged our MX, our ACX, and now our PTX platforms to be able to serve them and make their needs. And we're really excited that they chose our PTX 10002 platform to be able to grow their 800 gig network. The PTX 10002 has been a really powerful platform, architected with the Express 5 ASIC with a single chip 28.8 terabit platform, advanced power delivery to be able to support 36 ports of 800 gig ZR. And as you know, the power delivery requirements and the thermal management required for 800 gig ZR is really critical in these networks. So we really feel that we're going to be able to support the needs today and tomorrow for the CENIC network.
Yeah, excellent. 800ZR, obviously, it's one of the big topics at this show. We weren't sure how quickly it would come, but it's here, so that's been interesting. Organizations like CENIC are really pioneering that. It's a lot. It's almost like maybe we don't need to go into what's future because it kind of is, but really what's next for CENIC? Is 800ZR kind of the end game, or where do you go from here?
No, so it's definitely like the end game. I mean, we're looking forward to the next generation, which I believe is 1.6 terabits per second. So we're trying to get ready for those things. But as everyone knows right now, is AI is the hot topic and the buzzword for everything. So we want to be able to support the AI workflows that our members need, and also help democratize access to kind of the AI resources. So we've done things like CENIC Air, where now education and research are able to use compute GPUs that are donated across the CENIC network. But then also we want to be able to make sure that they have the network they need, not just in speed, but also in the features and the technology to make it as easy as is for them to adopt it, and for the researchers to focus on doing research and the educators to focus on educating the next generation on topics like AI, as opposed to figuring out how to get the bandwidth to be able to do AI.
Yeah, excellent. Well, congratulations on the deployments and for your involvement as well. Look forward to catching up in the future.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sterling.